Here I'm drawing a face of an old man with a long beard. We have started from the basic outline, and here's I'm just getting the shapes done, and after that we'll be doing the shading, and you can see the proportions. It's very important to get the proportions right first, because after getting the proportions we'll not be able to reconstruct the whole face, and the anatomy will be disturbed. So first the anatomy should be appropriate, and your shapes and their volumes must be appropriate. Here we have started the shades. I'm just doing first the blocking in the shapes, and after blocking in the shapes with a single tone, that is my mid-tone as well, I'm just adding some strokes in the background, and they're a bit darker than the shades we'll be using on the face. And here's the extreme shadows we are adding, and the more the shape is deep, the more dark it will be. So, and the light source is at left side, so we are leaving the room at left side, and the left side is going quite white, as you can see. But here I'm just relining the shapes and some extra details that were that I didn't want to add in the color or in the shading. So here one thing is very important to know and to keep in mind, that the emotions shouldn't be disappeared, because when we capture a face, we also capture the emotions, and the face, the anatomy, the gesture. Like we can see the opening of mouth is depicting some that this person is talking to someone, or this person is in a certain emotional phase. And here I'm just adding the darkest of the tone in my portrait, and by adding these dark lines, the portrait is really jumping out. And hairs, when we talk about hairs, so we draw hairs in the forms and the group of forms, and we don't draw hairs one by one, or we would draw them as a group of forms or a bunch of hairs. And a bit of blending I'm doing. And one thing I wanted to share with all of you, that this portrait is being done in Autodesk sketchbook, that is a mobile version, and I'm doing all these things in my phone and with a stylus. And here is the highlight from the left side or right side of the portrait, and that highlight is on whole at the entire shapes of the hairs, because it is the major source that make the forms pop up and make our portrait more lively. And on the beard we have some straight hairs, so you can observe that we have added some light on the darkest areas, because the reflected light must be there. The shadows are not as much shadowy as it seems, and we need to add some reflected light as well. Here the extreme highlights I'm adding, and on the hair and the tip of the nose, or on the beard, and here I was trying to make a triangular light, just like in the Rembrandt's painting. You have seen Rembrandt's paintings, and I think most of you are aware of who was Rembrandt. We'll talk about in some other videos, but here you can see I've added an overlayer of a dark tone, and that made the whole sculpted face, the whole drawn face in the background, and we then started light on it. And here is the final product. See you in the other video. Thank you so much.